All right, this freestyle video, Charlie, this is more of just a quick one just to kind of show you coming straight on. It always is good just to see a little bit of a different view to see what we're doing with those hands. The first thing, we're not going to talk so much about your eyes because we can see that those eyes are looking forward. You can see you're pretty much looking right at the camera. So we do want to make sure we're working on that just a little bit, right? So we're not going to talk about that so much. But what I do want to say real quick is I like how your hand is entering right in line with your shoulder. So you're entering in the exact position. Sometimes we see people enter a little bit too wide out here. Sometimes we see people cross over. Your hand entry right there is excellent. So keep that up. As you start to do that pull, you can see that your hand starts to go just a little bit. Here's where your shoulder is, there's your elbow, and your hand is a little bit outside your shoulder. You want to try and keep that hand, get a straight line as straight as I can. You want to try and keep that hand a little bit closer into where that shoulder is, and maybe even just a little bit past that shoulder line. You don't want to cross over the center of your body, right? Here's where the center of your body is. You don't want to cross over here, but you do want to keep it just on the inside, or at least even with your shoulder, not quite so wide. It's a lot of drawing there, Charlie. As you enter here with your left hand, again, you can see you're entering. Here's where your shoulder is. Now this time you entered a little bit more with your hand towards the middle, and you're taking a breath here. So that may be more partially what it is. I'll be curious to see what the left hand looks like without a breath. But make sure you don't cross over that center line. Once you start to cross over, you're actually turning your body in a wrong position. The reason why you want to keep it with your shoulder line is in that you're rolling your shoulders side to side, and you're able to keep your stroke a lot better and a lot more smooth. As you start the stroke here, let's look, go back just a little bit. You can see you got that bend in your elbow. Look at how wide your hand is, right? So here's your shoulder, and there's where your hand is over here. So we want to make sure we keep that hand a little bit more within that shoulder line. Here's your shoulder line. That was a bad one. Let's try that again. Here's your shoulder line right here. So as we go forward, we can see now we're about halfway through. Now we have our hand a little bit more in line. So just don't let it press out so wide, okay? Right in the very beginning. But that looked a lot better once we get halfway through that stroke. But again, you want to make sure that it's a little bit earlier on. So again, here's your shoulder line, and you can see you're outside of your shoulder line there. But as we start that stroke and we get a little bit more halfway through, that's when you start getting your hand right in line. And again, the power is really more within that shoulder, not on the outside of that shoulder. Okay? So not too big of a deal, Charlie. It does look like you're entering a little bit better with your fingertips down here. Yeah, much better job with your hand entry. The one other thing I do want to say is if you look at your hands, look at how closed your hands are. If you can actually open those fingers up just a little bit, you're going to make your hands, which I call your paddles, you're going to make your paddles just a little bit wider, which is actually going to help you pull more water. Sometimes people think with your fingers open, you're pulling more air. Actually, what they found is if you just have your hands open a little bit, just slightly, that actually creates a bigger surface to swim with, and that will help your freestyle out. All right, keep it up, bud.